Welcome, greetings. Oh my goodness, we are halfway through December. It is December the 13th, and today we have a very special show for you. We got 7 tips to avoid crashing out during the holidays. So let me share my screen and we will get on the road. All right, so today's topic, holiday sanity. Ooh, how does that sound? And we're going to, like I said, 7 smart tips to celebrate without the crash. So we're gonna the goal is to get some tools, some empowerment, some tips, some tricks, so that we can enjoy the season and protect your energy, waistline, and your peace. So there are going to be 7 simple strategies you can use at every gathering. And if you use just one, you'll be ahead of the game. But when you combine them, they compound. So I talked about avoiding the crash. What are the crash zones for the holidays? Well, we bring out the the famous recipes, and so we so much rich food available, laden with sugar, late night meals, people pleasing. All of these things stack up. We push through for everyone else, and then our energy tanks, our moods swing, our blood sugar fluctuates. We've got, um, and then we could be in a cycle of regret. Like, why, why did I let that get to me, or why did I eat that? So we want to avoid the crash zone. Now, in one sec. So there are 4 kinds of crashes on your holiday dashboard. Number 1 is the energy crash, the afternoon slump, the heavy body just can't get off the couch. The mood crash, irritability. You're supposed to be, this is a festive time, but it can get tense. Anxiety, tearfulness, feeling on the edge. Blood sugar crash, getting the jitters a little bit, getting headaches, sugar cravings, brain fog, and spiritual or emotional crash, feeling disconnected, uh, maybe even resentful, just feeling like you're just going through the motions. So, what is in the crash zone and how do we avoid it? First of all, we need to remember you're the driver. You're not the passenger. You don't just have to be carried along by every wind and whim that happens over the holidays. And the good news is that tiny choices can change the whole trip. So think of your body as a high performance car. Hello, little red Corvette. The goal isn't to crawl along, it's to fuel up wisely, take the curves wisely, and pay attention to the guardrails. So these 7 tips are like guardrails so you can enjoy the ride without wiping out. All right, before we get into the 7 tips, let me introduce myself. I'm Dr. Lisa Singletary. I'm also known as the 100-pound weight loss specialist, as someone who's personally lost over 150 pounds. And through the process of my health journey, I've developed the framework, the 5 M's of total transformation: mindset, macronutrients, micronutrients, motion, and measurement. And every month, we cycle through the 5 M's. So today we're talking macronutrients, which is why I have on a purple shirt. And the whole point of the 5 M's is to empower you in your transformation journey from the inside out. Um, so yes, I'm Dr. Lisa Singletary. I am, you got that, Tony? Thank you. A board certified family physician, now retired. I have a master's degree in public health. I'm a holistic health educator, and I'm passionate about empowering your transformation to optimal health. And let me tell you, when in 2006, I was a very, very heavy girl, but I had the gift of motion. And that's one of the 7 tips, the guardrail of motion. So I'm very thankful for that. But in 2008, I gave up the guardrail, the ballroom dancing, as well as my medical practice to go home and take care of my parents. And after 8 years, I needed my father's wheelchair just to get around the house. I needed a miracle. And I'm not going to tell you I found a miracle. We don't do that in health and wellness. But this is my disclaimer slide too. So this is not a medical consultation. This is not a second opinion. It's my opinion, but you know what I mean. Your insurance won't pay for this. It's open season, but uh, this is my knowledge, experience, my research, all wrapped up into a package of total transformation secrets. So I hope you feel disclaimed. No claims, but something did happen that changed the trajectory of my life. This was a chart of my weight going through the years, and it was a very predictable rise through the decades until something dramatic happened. And that helped me to go from the picture on the left to the picture in the middle to the picture on the right, and I'm still on the road to optimal health. Okay, so let's get to the tips. Tip number 1, we got 7 of them. Number 1, practice mindful eating. Being present helps to protect you from the crash. What do I mean by that? When we slow down and engage our senses, there we go. You notice how the food looks. Enjoy it, the colors, the smell, the texture, the flavor. Chewing slowly. That does so many things. Because it takes your body a little while to register all of the signals that, okay, yeah, I'm getting full, or these enzymes need to get started, or yeah, I really am. That's really satisfying to me. One of the tips you can do is set your fork down between bites. Just slow it down and enjoy. Mindful eating also helps you feel satisfied, and it prevents or decreases blood sugar spikes and crashes and energy spikes and crashes. So you gotta figure that out. All right, so an action step right now, just practice. Close your eyes, imagine that table, and take an imaginary bite of something delicious. And just imagine the bite. I mean, anticipating the bite, then pause, breathe, enjoy it, and then swallow. Just, you know, just right now, just imagine doing that. That's the first tip is take it slow. Tip number 2, prioritize protein and produce. I love that. I love a good alliteration, and that's a really good one. So what's happening? You're going to feed your muscles and your metabolism. So after 40, muscle is prime real estate in your body. It burns more calories at rest and stabilizes your blood sugar. Protein gives your muscles the building blocks they need. Colorful veggies deliver the micronutrients and the fiber that keep your metabolism running smoothly. And when you undereat protein or veggies, your body's more likely to store extra starch and sugar instead of burning it. So what can you do? Make sure at least, well, approximately, make sure approximately half of your plate is comprised of those colorful, non-starchy veggies. And then with the other half, um, meaning a quarter of the plate, split the other half so that a quarter is your lean protein, maybe a little more than the quarter. And then the last quarter used for gluten-free starches, small amounts of healthy fats, such as, the combination of butter and potatoes, or putting some avocado in there, or nuts on a side dish. So we want to use uh, the protein and produce to full effect. The other thing you want to do is, I don't know if I wrote it on here, but you want your first bites to be the protein and the produce. Keep the carbs till last. I think I do have that as a tip later on, but I want to make sure we get that in there. Tip number 3, don't arrive hungry. Prevent the I'm starving spiral. It's a trap. Showing up starving almost guarantees a crash. Your brain goes straight for the sugar and the starch. And when I say your brain, I kind of mean your gut brain. Your gut microbiome is going to drive you to make some poor choices. So have a small protein-rich snack 60 to 90 minutes before. We've talked about Greek yogurt and berries. My favorite is soft-boiled eggs. This will protect your energy, your mood, and your blood sugar from the dreaded first plate crash. So right now, think about what is going to be your go-to pre-party snack. Write it down. Make sure you've got it on hand before you head out to the party. I mean, before the day of the party, so it's right there for you. Okay, tip number 4, hydrate wisely. All right, this is going to be, I have a lot of information in this one, so fasten your seatbelts, take some notes, but hydration is your secret weapon against sluggishness. So here's the thing about dehydration. Dehydration means your cells are losing water, they're shrinking, and it can cause brain fog, fatigue. So we want to aim for water throughout the day. We want to hydrate. We want to stay hydrated, but mostly between meals because we don't want to dilute our stomach acid too much during the meal. So focus on getting your hydration before you sit down and when your stomach is empty. Also, the holidays, sometimes that's when we feel like we could be a little indulgent with the alcohol or sugary drinks. They drive your blood sugar, they dehydrate you, and they crash your mood. So I want to show you something. I'm going to do a little deep dive here because you hear that uh, you may have heard that when you drink sodas, it really makes you more thirsty, and you're like, okay, is that really true? I want to show you a little bit of the science behind this hydration um, tip. So there was a test of sports drinks. Um, this was conducted in Switzerland, but there are multiple studies, uh, multiple research uh, articles that document the osmolality of sports drinks and other drinks. And I'm not going to go into, I love explaining osmolality, okay? But here's what you need to know. It's like the concentration of substances or the thickness of your blood. So, um, when you think of blood, which it's pretty important to have your blood where it's supposed to be, the normal osmolality of blood is 280 to 290 millimoles per kilogram. Now, so what I want you to think of as I show you the next slides is if it's over 300, it's going to tend to dehydrate you. If the osmolality is less than 300 or less than 280, sorry, less than 280, then it's going to hydrate you. And it's actually could dilute your blood, but hey, that's what your kidneys are for, right? So you drink a low osmolar beverage, like let's say water. Oh, shocking. Um, your kidneys know how to make your blood exactly the right range of osmolality. And what happens? You urinated all the excess out. But what happens when you are taking in too much? Well, your kidneys can't give you water. They can stop you from urinating out so much water. But what will happen is, in order to make your blood the right concentration, it will pull water out of the cells. And that's what we don't want. Okay. So remember that number 300 or above um, is is causing your blood to be more concentrated. So let's look at some beverages. Well, this study was first done in Gatorade. And Gatorade, right, that's how you hydrate after your sports, right? But look at the osmolality, 348. So that means even Gatorade is concentrated and it's um, higher than the blood osmolality should be. Um, whole discussions we can go into there, but let's look at some other things. Apple juice, over 700. Grape juice, 1193, so almost 1200. Orange juice, 614. That's the apple juice is more than double, right? So if you look at the second one, diluted 1 to 1, it's still, if you do half apple juice, it's still a higher osmolality than the blood. Coca-Cola, over 400. All right, energy drinks, Red Bull, over 600. But this is the one I really, I mean, who, uh, my family didn't drink a lot of alcohol, but my dad used to love Manischewitz, Concord grape wine, or what, I don't even know if it's called wine, but you had to go to the liquor store to get it, right? Look at red wine, over 2,500 milliosmoles. So, um, if you do want some wine throughout the holidays, just take sips, number one. And also, I got a tip for you a little later, but realize This is going to dehydrate you. And this is why, people get headaches, hangovers, and things like that because their brains are dehydrated. So hydrate through the day, especially between meals, and follow juices or sodas or which we don't want but like I said, if you're making exceptions for the holidays, then this is what you do. Let's say you drank a can of Coke. Once you're done, fill that same can with water and chase the Coke with the water. Or, a glass of, or if you have some wine, chase it with water. And, oh yeah, limit water during meals because it will dilute your stomach acid. Okay. But I just wanted you to see. So that's all the deep science today, I think. But I really want you to see why it's so important to choose your beverages wisely and to be aware it really does have an effect on you. Okay. Tip number 5, we've talked about the 2-bite rule or the 3-bite rule for treats. Savor the joy, ditch the overload. So you don't have to skip Aunt Mary's sweet potato pie, but you just don't need slices of it. You just need a couple of bites and do the mindfulness, practice the mindfulness, really enjoy those bites, and then keep it moving. That will keep your pleasure high and your guilt and crashes low. So, action step, make your plan now. Save the sweets for last and practice all of the tips, the slow, mindful eating, so that one bite, you can get the most enjoyment out of it. Tip number 6, plan ahead. We want to quiet the food noise before you even walk into the party. So your gut and your brain are talking constantly. And what you eat today shapes your cravings for tomorrow or even a couple of hours from now if you're eating the wrong things. When you're low on protein, fiber, and key micronutrients, your brain turns up the volume on food noise, urgent thoughts about sugar-based snacks, sugar, bread, and snacks. Ultra-processed sugary foods hijack your gut-brain axis, and it creates a roller coaster. Quick high, hard crash, and then louder cravings later on. Walking into a party hungry and undernourished is like driving a sports car on ice. Your brain is primed to overreact at every dessert table. Planning what and how you'll eat protects your brain. It calms the food noise, stabilizes blood sugar, and keeps your mood and energy steadier. So you can actually enjoy the people, not just the plates. So what is your action step? Or what are your action steps? Survey the table before serving yourself. Don't just grab just because it's right in front of you. Intentionally choose the foods you truly love and want to enjoy rather than sampling everything available. Decide ahead of time. I'm choosing these foods and I'm skipping those foods this time. Planning brings down the anxiety and supports your spiritual and emotional steadiness, so you finish the evening feeling peaceful and energized, not defeated. Tip number 7, stay active. Move your body, reap the benefits. So movement improves insulin sensitivity, mood, and digestion. Think of it as helping your body to process the feast instead of letting it sit. So action step, pick one realistic movement plan. We love the post-meal walk, right? Within 60 minutes of the end of the meal, take that post-meal walk. 5 to 10 minutes of exercise snacking. If you got that rebounder, Coach Judy loves the rebounder. Um, just get to the rebounder or a brisk walk. Well, we love a brisk walk, but other forms of exercise snacking. A quick dance with the grandkids. Or I shared the My Bonnie song. My friend Holly, her family did that. I don't know if they do this every Thanksgiving, but they certainly did it at least this one. Um, you may know, or you can look up the song My Bonnie. Um, is it Flies? My Bonnie flies over the, or flies or rides. But anyway, My Bonnie, let's say rides. No, I guess it has to be flies if it's over the ocean. Okay. So my Bonnie flies over the ocean. My Bonnie flies over the sea. My Bonnie flies over the ocean. Oh, bring back my Bonnie to me. And what they did was every time they said a word that starts with the letter B, everyone stands up. And then they keep singing the song until they come to another word with the letter B, and everyone sits down. And going through that, just standing up and sitting down, it was fun. It was crazy. And yeah, now I'm gonna have to go look up the lyrics again. But I know all the B's, bring back, oh, bring back my Bonnie to me, to me. It was fun. Okay. Well, I love a good bonus. So here's a bonus tip. Focus on the experience, not just the food. Nourish your spirit while you eat. Holidays are about connection, gratitude, and memories, not just plates. So when your heart is full, it's easier not to chase fullness with food. Your action step, intentionally shift your attention, conversations, stories, photos, prayer, music. Get the full enjoyment out of the experience, not just uh, mindlessly stuffing the calories. So, what have we discovered today? Crashes aren't random. They're the result of predictable patterns. We've had a we've had a session about pattern recognition, right? We can recognize the patterns and we can shift the patterns and use them to our advantage. And I have a gift for you that will help with that. You can celebrate fully and wake up in January with more clarity, confidence, and peace. Isn't that what we want? We don't want to be behind the eight ball in January. I told one of my business partners yesterday, it's already February when it comes to our business activities, right? But we don't want to be behind the eight ball in January. We want to hit 2026 with smooth riding over the open road. So here are the smart tips. Practice mindful eating. Prioritize protein and produce. Don't arrive hungry. Hydrate wisely. Use the 2-bite rule. Plan ahead and stay active. And then the bonus, focus on the experience, not just the food. So I've shared this gift with you before, the Holiday Eating Navigating Festive Feasts download. And you can download it right here at drlisasingletary.online/holiday or scan the QR code. But here's the other gift I'm going to share with you. We had a session about habits, and we learned a lot about the process of examining your habits and then making changes and locking in new habits. And so we talked about the habit of hydration, of the after dinner walk, like really digging into the details, mindless snacking. So I want to send to you or offer to you the summary of of James Clear's book, Atomic Habits. And it's a really excellent bonus for your mindset and being ready to conquer the holidays. Okay, so wow, we only have 2 more Saturdays in December, and we're still going to be on the theme of holiday feast mastery. But next Saturday, we're talking about micronutrients, and then the last Saturday of 2025, we're going to be talking about motion. So come on back for Total Transformation Secrets live on Saturdays, 11 a.m. Eastern. And you can join us by going to drlisasingletary.online/live-zoom or scan this QR code to register and get your seat. But also at 9 o'clock tonight, this replay will premiere on YouTube, and it'll be on YouTube from then on. But on my channel, uh, we'll have the premiere set, and I'll be live in the comments with you for that first showing. I call it a showing. It's like a movie theater, right? But 9 o'clock Eastern every Saturday, we are premiering the previous morning or that morning's replay. So I just want to thank you so much for joining me today. So you could grab these tips. I hope they're helpful for you. Those of you who are live, stick around. We'll have a little discussion afterwards. Those of you on the replay, I welcome you back um, I welcome you to the lives, but I'm also glad you're here on the replay. Have amazing, wonderful holiday feasts that keep you on track and avoid the crash. I love you all. Mwah.